Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sharks Fan TV. What a cold day it is. What a cold day it is. And, I gotta tell you, I don't mind the weather. I don't mind the cold. I'm sure I don't speak for everyone, but as you can see, I've warmed up myself. I can put warm. The good thing about the cold is I can dress warm. Obviously, not so many have that privilege, so I'm thankful for that. But with the heat, when the heat comes, it's hard. But yeah, I'm enjoying this cold weather. The last month of winter, it's here, and then we are off to spring, obviously. So enjoying it and enjoying rugby as it is. So welcome to Sharks Fan TV. Like I said, where we're keeping it black and white, and nothing else matters. So guys, before we kick into this show, this preview show, I just wanted to say thank you for watching my videos, supporting the boy, but yeah, keep on sharing this video, sharing the link. There's more to talk about in Sharks, South Sea Sharks. URC is coming up in September. We got some new things coming in. With this MVM ownership, Rock Nation as well. I see even they got sponsorship from Manscaped if you look at the Sharks. So all men out there, check it out. Manscaped, they have their thing going on. I won't say much about that, but yeah, more sponsorship coming for the team, and it will just influence the on-field decisions in terms of players, in terms of squad depth, and in terms of talent as well. Yeah, so let's kick in by talking about some of the news making round the rugby world. We'll talk about, or we'll just mention the performance for the Springbok that happened yesterday. I actually was enjoying the game yesterday. Then Hendrikse came in the final 10 minutes or so. Then I missed that 10 minutes. But I saw he scored a try. Fassi also scored a try. So actually our Springboks, our Sharks Springboks, they're actually enjoying their time there, and I'm glad that they are. Ox got a very good run. He was very very good in that team, so it's a good replacement for the beast. I can say that one of our own goes to Springbok and actually dominates the game against Argentina, which was good. But obviously, Kobas Reinhardt ran the show yesterday. Um, but so you can see Hendricks has a lot to learn. But I like that he was given a chance. I like that he's taking his opportunities. And this is what I was saying for Nohamba. Yeah, so about that, last week I actually wanted to put out a video. It got everything. I had done it. I was posting it. Then my PC just crashed. It just crashed, and the game was going on. So I was like, what's the use of putting it up there right now? The game against Bulls, actually. And that's what we're going to talk about in our next segment. But yeah, I like how the Springboks are doing. Seeing Sbu, he wasn't really prominent in the rugby, in the Lions tour, but these rugby championships, I think he will feature more. He's a good player as well. Very very defensive as well. A bit of rest there for Mapimpi, putting Fassi in the blind side, and he performed. What about that one hander? That was a really really good one hander, and I enjoy and I like how we are giving our players some chance in the Springbok, and it will bode well going forward and building up to the next World Cup in France. Yeah, so apart from that, some Sharks news. Yeah, last week we played the Bulls, and then we were supposed to play the Pumas on Wednesday, but the game actually got cancelled on Wednesday due to a break in COVID. So we were playing Wednesday at 7 p.m. and it got cancelled. I think midday, that the game wasn't going on, that there was a break of COVID in our camp, and we had to award 4 points to Pumas. So we've dropped. Remember when we beat the Bulls, we went on top of the log after 8 games, and then we forfeited this match. So we've essentially, the log is looking very very weird, and I'll share with you just in a few moments. But we we've essentially played 4 games. and the log says we've played 8 games and lost 4. So ends our predicament in the table. We're not top of the log anymore due to COVID. I wish, and in the chats, big up Jaku, one of our regulars. We're always commenting, we're always sharing our thoughts. And I was telling him that we essentially need to go back to the bubble that when we opened up after last year's lockdown, when we opened up for sports, we went into a bubble and we stayed there until the Curry Cup and the Super Rugby Unlocked finished. Then now we've opened up essentially for everything, but I feel like we should go back to that bubble. I wonder how the vaccines are going on. We'll try and see if we can get some answers about that. But obviously, the vaccines are available for players if they want. We're seeing that the government is rolling out, even some private sectors are rolling out the vaccines. So I wonder if it's available for the players or if they've taken it or not, depending on their choice. So with that, I just wonder, can we go back and let me know your thoughts in the comment sections below, guys. Can we go back to the bubble and to see if we can finish this competition? Remember, after the Curry Cup, which is finishing in September, early September, we just kick into the URC, United Rugby Championship, and it's a long season because we'll play like 12 games. We'll play 18 games, 6 games with the local franchises, and then overseas 12 games. So we'll play home and away, obviously. But that one will be very, very critical or crucial. If we have a bigger squad, then it will bode well for us. But these guys, we still need them. There was a COVID outbreak in the Springbok camp as well when they are starting the British and Irish Lions tour. And you saw how it affected them. They didn't play a friendly against Georgia, and they had to fill essentially half of the Springboks in the SAA team just to get some match fitness. So for us, yes, if we need squad depth, and we're gonna address it, and I'm sure Sean Everett is looking into it, but we still have to keep our players fit. We still have to keep our players who are currently there to be available, not to succumb to COVID. So whoever succumbed to COVID, wish him a very quick recovery and no side effects coming to them, so that we can get back to playing rugby. Yeah, what a mouthful there. So we've spoken about that. We've spoken about the COVID outbreak against Pumas. Now looking at the log table, we're just gonna check the log table, and this is how it looks like. In Bulls, I've played 9 and they've won 5. So they're essentially on 33 points. Followed by Griquas, who are second, played 9, won 4 with 24 points. So that's a big gap there, about 9 points. Then Western Province and Sharks, we've tied. But Western Province played 8 and won 4. We played 8 and won 3. Then we are on 22 points each. So you can see that the top 4, which will go into the playoffs, semis, and finals, we are the 4th. That means if this round ends like this, or if the table ends like this, we'll meet Bulls at Loftus Stadium in the semi-finals, which is something I don't want to do. I'd rather meet them in the final or something. I don't want to go back to Loftus. Man, I something about Loftus and Sharks I just don't understand. But there's a hoodoo there or something. We just can't seem to go past that final wall to beat them at Loftus. We can beat them at the Shark Tank, but at Loftus it's very hard. So I don't want to go back there. So it's essential that we win this game and climb up the top. So we will face Free State Cheetahs. Last we faced them, and then we faced Griquas. We lost. So we won against Cheetahs. We lost against Griquas, and then we won against Bulls. Just when we were starting to get into the momentum, that's when we actually forfeited Pumas, who are awarded 4 log points, and they are behind us with 22 points. So we actually tied third to fifth, we're tied. 8 games played, 22 points each. So after that, that's a 10 gap with Bulls. So those guys are flying with 9 games played. Um, yeah, so we have to win this game. That's all I'm saying. We have to. Other bit of news before we go into the starting 15 is Jack was just updated me. I saw it on the Sharks website as well, but I thought I had addressed it. But yeah, I missed one player and then two more players actually. So what we're doing is we are boosting or we are expanding the squad depth. And we had Ninaba yesterday, the Springbok coach or the Springbok manager say that depth actually is essential. It's the one that is winning games for the Springbok, and we have to increase depth. Going into the URC, remember 18 games, we will play a lot, and then after that, whoever top six, I think, and we'll go into the rules as well later on in the before we start. We'll just refresh our mind on the URC rules. But off my head, I know the top six will compete in the Heineken Cup, which is almost like the European competition. If you watch football, if you're a fan of football, you know about the Champions League. So it looks like that. And it looks like the Southern Hemisphere will enter the Heineken Cup if they finish in the top six of the table of the URC. Now, this is what Jack had to say in the comments. Some transfer news. Overseas foreign shopping continues. So we've signed, or we're going to sign, Argentine fly half Joaquin Diaz Bonilla, who used to play for Jaguares in the Super Rugby, and then he went to the Gallagher Premiership in the UK. Played there for the 2020-21 season, and now for the 21-22 season he'll play in the URC for Sharks as a fly half. So we're bolstering the fly half position. Loose forward, Olajuwon Noah, Samoan born. He played also. I think he played for Samoa. I'm gonna have to research that about him, guys. But he's a Samoan. And then center, Wallaby center Ben Tapuai, and we all know about Ben Tapuai. He played for the Western Force in the Super Rugby, Super 15 or Super 14. We met him a few times, especially the 2012 season. So we all know about Ben Tapuai. He's made appearances in the Wallaby as well, former Wallaby, but also born in Samoa. So we're bolstering with our overseas, a bit of Southern Hemisphere flavor coming to play North versus South, and it's gonna be interesting who actually shifts. We remember we have people like Jeremy Ward, we have Marius Lowe in the center position. Ben Tapuai comes in. He fits that prolific position of Andre Strezen, the one he left behind. But we have, I think we have a bit of depth also in the center position. Lucanio Am, remember. So who's gonna partner Lucanio Am for long term? Remember, Am is our captain, and then Sia Kolisi there in the loose position, on the forwards position, as a flanker, obviously. So Noah Olajuwon Noah, if he's going to complement or if he's going to come in and displace people like Reniel Hugo, who's been very, very good at our team. But also, this just bolsters the depth. Remember, there's many games going on, and there's a lot of flying that will happen. Up the hemisphere, down here. So a lot of travel that will happen. So this actually bolsters the squad, and I like how they're going about it. That they're recruiting before the season begins. I like that. I don't want recruitments close to the season starts or something. They must have a preseason. They must have a warm-up matches or something. They must get into the team so that they can integrate properly with people. We have youngsters, Jaden Hendricks. We have in the flyer. We have what's his name again? Zanele Nohamba in the scrum half position. Sorry, with Jaden. So they have to know how these players play, and then from there we can actually build a bigger squad. I like what Sean Everett is doing. They are actually giving him whatever he wants, the tools that he wants. We've done our conditioning coach, we've done our forwards and backline coach. Remember, former Blitzboker coach is coming as a forward, as a backline coach in the 2021 season or 22 season. So Neil Powell. So we are bolstering the coaching staff and the playing staff as well. So Sean Everett won't have an excuse going into the next season or going to the first season of the URC that we have less of less in this particular position, because every position is being bolstered. Remember, even we have a new hooker from Western Province, and we announced that. So this essentially will come and will be, what is it called? It will be very nice for Sean Everett to have all these tools at his disposal. We also have a new medical, what is his name? Consultant, sorry, medical consultant in the team from Cape Town. He played, no, not really played. He actually was a former box medical consultant as well. So these things are essentially put in place for him to progress, or for him to do well in the URC, and we need to see that in the on field. So yeah, gone are those days of the Duprees. Remember that the Duprees, and only Dan Dupree was actually good. With alongside his brother Jean-Luc, the fly half, I didn't essentially like him. I didn't like his style of play, but he used to be played all the time. But yeah, they're gone with their father up there. With they're playing ironically for the Sail Sharks. So Sail Sharks, not Chelsea Sharks. Sail Sharks up there with Faf Duplessis. But yeah, enough about that. Let's talk about the Cheetahs game. So previously, when we met the Cheetahs, we won 37. Was it 37-25 when we met at Free State Stadium? That was some 3 weeks ago, last month essentially. And now we have a chance to meet them again, now at the Sharks Tank. But this is the starting 15. So I'm going to start with the Cheetahs and talk about them for a bit. Their props will be Skalk van der Merwe and Conrad van Vuren. And then hooker will be Wilma Arnoldi. Then they have Renia Filiun and Victor Sekekete at the second row. And then the flanks will be Andisan Nsila and Yak Potgieter. Then 8th month will be Michali Mosi. Captain will be there. Tian Swanepoel will be Tian Meyer. Tian Meyer. Tian Swanepoel plays down south in Western Province. Tian Meyer is their captain at scrum half. Then they have Brandon Thompson as the fly half. I'm sure Rowan Pina will feature somewhere in that game, but he's not starting. Then Malcolm Yeh and Chris Smith will be Malcolm and Craig Berry will be their wings. Chris Smith and Everardi Bishop will be in the center, and then they have Clayton Blomekis as the fullback. So once again, just running through the first team will be Skalk van der Merwe and Conrad van Vuren as props, Wilma Arnoldi as a hooker, Renel Filiun and Victor Sekekete as second rowers or locks, Andisa Ntila and Jack Potgieter in the flank position, Michali Mosi 8th man, Tian Meyer as their scrum half, Brandon Thompson as fly half, Malcolm Yeh and Oriai and Craig Berry as wings, Everardi Bishop and Chris Smith as centers, and then Clayton Blomekis as their fullbacks. Now for us, let's see who makes the cut. Because of the COVID restriction, they had to have a COVID negative result before Thursday, and they announced their team yesterday, and that's why we've actually delayed in even bringing out this video. But yeah, we have Kwesi Mona and Lawrence Adrianse as our front rowers, our props, Kieran Van Furen retains his hooker position. Then we have LaRue Roots and Emil Van Heerden. Emil starting. He came off the bench in the last game. Then Dylan Richardson and Tambalani Boli as flanks. Hank Fenta as eighth man. Cameron Wright starts as our scrum half. Bota Chamberlain as number 10. Fly half. Takir Abrahams continues his run in the team as now blindside wing with Marna Sport Hitter as open side wing. And then Jeremy Ward and Marius Law, the famous pair, comes into the center with Anthony Formink coming back to the fullback position. So Anthony Formink was wing last time with Manny Libok playing the fullback, but now Manny drops and then we have Anthony as fullback. Our substitutes will be Dan Yosta and Tutukom Tunu, Viehan Herbst, Giandre Laboskachny, James Venter, Grant Williams, Lionel Cronier, Yao Pengle will be our replacements. Once again, the team will be Kwesi Mona and Lawrence Adrianse as our props, Kieran Van Furen as our hooker, then Emil Van Heerden and LaRue Roots as our locks, Dylan Richardson and Tembalani Boli as our flanks, Henko Fenta as the eighth man, Cameron Wright in the scrummer position, Bota Chamberlain in the fly half, Takir Abrahams and Marna Sport Hitter as wings, Jeremy Ward and Marius Law as centers, then Anthony Formink in the fullback position. I quite like how Anthony Formink and Takir Abrahams are getting a run in the Curry Cup. That's how people like Apelele Fassi started. When you get a run in the Curry Cup perform, then you can play in the URC. You can actually show what you are. Then, we got a bit of Springbok in the making here with Takir Abrahams, I'm sure. And you can see people like Jaden Hendrickson taking their chance. When you get an opportunity, grab it with both hands. Sad to say that Nohamba didn't do that when he was in the camp and essentially was released. Him alongside Yao Peng, I'm sure there was just a lot of depth in that, but I was really rooting for Nohamba to take it. But all the best for Takiri. Nohamba will have other chances. He's still young. He's still under 24, I think. So he will get more chances, especially with this long season. So let's see how it is. So yeah, guys, that's a bit of the news and the preview show that I wanted to share with you guys. Let me know what you think of the team. Let me know if you're confident of the win here. Let me know what we need to do to essentially climb the table. And as we're drawing close to the end, I wanted to ask you, what is our best scrum that we should go with? We have 4 scrum ups. Obviously, Cameron Wright is here for the Curry Cup, but 3 long-term scrum ups, because we have this. We have what's his name again? Grant Williams. We have Jaden Hendricks and Sanele Nohamba. Who's your favorite scrum up in the team to play when it comes to, let's say, URC? When you go into the URC and we haven't blustered the team, or we sorry, I have my mic. We haven't really signed any new scrum half, because I know we have a lot of talent in the scrum half position. Who's the scrum half you want to go with? That's my question, and I'll tell you who I want to go with in the next video. But do enjoy this video. Do enjoy the game as well, and keep staying safe. Keep it black and white. Nothing else matters. And I'll see you soon, guys.